two very important things happened today, guys. And number one, we got to talk about Lutnick. So I am looking at this shit like I am the prosecuting attorney, and we are going after Donald Trump. But, dude, we have a problem here. Lutnick
opens the door.
Has a problem, okay? Lutnick, right now, major lies got exposed today. Howard Lutnick lived next door to Jeffrey Epstein. Wexner's company purchased the property, transferred it to a trust that Epstein was involved in. Then Epstein used that trust to sell the property to another trust, and then that trust sold the property to Lutnick. So the property went Wexner, Epstein, Trust, Lutnick. Okay? But here's where it gets weird, guys, because then we have Lutnick who goes online and he does this interview. And Lutnick says, you know what? Yeah, I live next door to Jeffrey Epstein. I met him once. But look at what Lutnick says about meeting him.
He opens the doors, and there's a massage table in the middle of the room.
Ooh.
And candles all around and stuff. So I ask very insightful, cutting questions. I say to him, massage table in the middle of your house? How often you have a massage?
Massage?
Oh. And he says, every day.
Oh.
And then he gets weirdly close to me.
Oh, weirdly
and
close.
He says,
every
the
day.
right kind of massage. Now my wife is standing here. So she looks at me and I look at her and we say, I'm sorry. We have to go.
We have to go.
And we left.
Oh.
And in the 6 or 8 steps it takes to get from his house to my house, my wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person.
Never.
Ever again.
Look at that.
So I was never in the room.
Look at that. Wow.
Socially, for business.
For business?
Or for even philanthropy.
No
Like
philanthropy.
I wasn't going because he's gross.
Okay.
And so I look back at it as a gift.
Yes.
He gave me a gift.
He did.
Of a voice.
Yeah, right off the bat.
Yeah.
So
That's my story. A one and absolutely
So look at that.
done.
A one and absolutely done. So for those of you, if you got shell shocked during Lutnick's rousing story there, to sum it up, Lutnick moves in next to Jeffrey Epstein after that weird, totally unrelated series of events. Lutnick ends up buying this house that Wexner had bought and transferred to a trust controlled by Epstein, who sold it to another trust, who sold it to Lutnick. Lutnick becomes Epstein's neighbor, and he goes over there one day. Hi, neighbor. Hey, I just moved in next door. What's going on here? And he's like, whoa. The first thing he sees is a massage table. Oh, yeah, I saw a massage table. Jeffrey got in my face. Oh, I get the right kind of massage every day. Right? And he's like, whoa, dude. Him and his wife, they're out. Never again. No business, no social, no philanthropy. I one and done. I went in my neighbor's house and was like, wow, dude, that guy's a creep. Well, today, we find an email. And look at this email from Howard Lutnick to Jeffrey Epstein and somebody else. Jeff, we are landing in St. Thomas early Saturday afternoon and planning to head over to St. Bart's on Monday at some point. Where are you located? What is the exact location for my captain? Does Sunday evening dinner sound good? I have another couple, Michael and Marcy Lehrman, with me on my boat, and each of us has 4 children, 2 16s, 2 14s, a 13, a 12, 11, and a 7-year-old. Thanks, Howard. And Jeffrey Epstein writes back and says, come Saturday or Sunday lunch, Little St. James on the map behind Christmas Cove. And then Leslie Groff, I guess, is responding to other people. FYI, we'll let y'all know what he says. So look at what was going on. Is Lutnick is communicating with people, with Jeff and Leslie Groff, and then Leslie is communicating with Epstein. But wow, he wasn't one and done. In fact, he was talking about coming to the island. with Epstein. And like, wow, that's a little different, isn't it, guys? There you go. Now you notice though how there's like a layer of insulation where they will talk to Leslie and Leslie will talk to Jeff, and then Jeff will talk to Leslie and Leslie will talk to them. Like, even that lack of direct contact, I think, is interesting. And again, Leslie Groff is one of the 4 lieutenants who got, immunity via that non-prosecution agreement from Alex Acosta, Trump's labor secretary. And now we have Howard Lutnick. He is the Secretary of Commerce. So again, we have a Trump cabinet member that has now lied about his connection to Jeffrey Epstein. And apparently he's like, arranging to go be on the island with him. Yeah, see, guys, I'll be honest with you. I am still trying to figure out like what Epstein actually did. And this is the thing that is so bizarre, okay? Is when you look at Epstein and you look at him, he was wealthy as fuck, but he didn't have a job. He never did anybody's taxes. He never, right? There's no like paper trail of what he actually did or how he actually had all this wealth. He was a power of attorney over Les Wexner's money. And then Les Wexner later said, oh, he took all my money. He took a bunch of my money. But mostly, like, we don't know. We know that, like, all of these guys are going to his island and they're all, like, he was involved in, the Ivory Coast and, the former prime minister of Israel and presidents of the United States. And Peter Thiel and Elon Musk say they talked to him about taxes. But if you look at Peter Thiel, it doesn't really seem like Peter Thiel talked to him about taxes. I mean, we know that Epstein was involved in surveillance, okay? You saw his room with surveillance, with all the cameras, and then in the Ivory Coast, they sold surveillance. Him and Ehud Barak sold surveillance to the Ivory Coast government. Peter Thiel is in surveillance. So, I don't know. It's just a big mystery about this guy. But this, guys, is really crazy because look at this. This is 2012. So this is after Jeffrey Epstein was arrested for, his involvement with minors, and after his, prostitution charges, he is hanging out with Lutnick. Lutnick is arranging to go to the island. Guys, this is really problematic here because, he said he met Epstein in 2005 and he said he'd never be in the room with that disgusting person again. And yet right away we see that he remained in contact for years and he was going to the island. And then look at this. Okay, here's one. Okay, lunch on Sunday. See you then. And then Leslie Groff to Matthew and Candace, might you be able to give blank a few more details regarding lunch this Sunday? Do you know if it will just be Howard and his wife? Any kids coming along? Will they arrive J.E.'s Island via their boat? Around what time is good for them? If you could pass along when you know, that would be great. Thanks, Leslie. And Howard is lunch on Sunday. So, dude, from this, it looks like Lutnick was at the island. And yeah, dude, did you see though? Like his story? Did you see how Lutnick's story, this story that he told? Lutnick's story was very specific, guys. Like, I saw the massage table, right? You see how he I saw the massage table in the middle of the room. First off, no, he didn't. Jeffrey's massage table was up in the massage room, okay? And I don't believe he brought his neighbor who came over once. I don't think Jeffrey took him up to the massage room and was like, I get a massage every day. Dude, if you read about Jeffrey, you learn about him. Jeffrey was a manipulator. He was a fucking like a Svengali at gaslighting and being an operator. Dude, yeah, Nutlick is like, oh, I saw the massage table. He was very creepy, Oh, I got out of there. Dude, come on, man. This is a con. Guys, this story is fucking bullshit. And the other thing about this story, though, guys, can I tell you? Did you notice with this story that, like, did you notice her reaction too? Like, her reaction was really weird, where she's like, oh, really? Oh, really? Like, right? Like, oh, yeah, right? Like, her reaction was like, yes, I'm believing everything you tell me, right? She was just way too agreeable, okay? And guys, this is why we don't want to be compliant to everything people tell us necessarily. So Lutnick has some explaining to do, right? Because Lutnick and his nice, cool little story, dude, he's fucking lying about this shit. Lutnick went to the island, guys. Dude, his story, suspect. Lutnick is busted, bro.